this particular video is mainly directed at the leadership of Cleveland, Ohio. Me, I am a Democrat, executive committee, precinct person, committeeman. That's up under the councilmen and the mayors. So I have a few elected positions. And right now, Cleveland, Ohio is in a sort of a battle with the ownership of Cleveland Browns, the football team. And I want to talk about it because you have to trust your leadership to guide you to a place that will benefit the whole. Let's dig in. But first, I want to introduce you to, if you've never been here, this is Foundation for Elevation Station. My name is Leon Meredith, and there's no way that I'm going to steer you wrong. I'm going to steer you strong. The ownership of the Cleveland Browns, the Haslams, have bought other property and is moving forward in a certain manner to move the Cleveland Browns from Cleveland Lakefront to basically another part of Cleveland. But it's right on the borderline across the road, like literally across the road from the airport of Cleveland. But technically it is in Brook Park. Me, myself, I am a Cleveland Browns fan to the core. I am more Cleveland Browns fan than anyone that I ever met, and I have friends and associates that have paraphernalia splattered their man cave with it. They even have ornaments in their vehicles and an assortment of $1,000 of clothes. I share some of those things, those significations of my coreness for the Browns. But none of these men and women that I know that are solid Browns fans like me was out there when we went 0-16. Yeah, I was looking at every game to see what particular players we should keep. Literally, this was my mindset. I'm watching each play, the way the intensity of the player depicted to my perception. I said, hold on, this dude still, we only got 6 players we need to keep. Like that was my mindset. And at the end of the season, I believe 2017, we went 0-16. First we went 1-15, then we went 0-16. Didn't win a single game. We had a parade after the season to show the ownership that we care. So it was cold. It may have been 10 degrees out. Like, it was cold. The wind was blowing. We talking Cleveland, Ohio. It was freezing. And we had a parade. And they say around 3,000 people was at this parade. And it was a lot of Caucasian people. And it was around 6 black people, African Americans. And I was one of them. I was down out there over 2 hours. I remember like 2 hours, 40 something minutes. I was out there because at the time, I was such a believer with the spirit of God in me about displaying it to the ownership. So now we at a point where they're proposing to move the Cleveland Browns to nearby Brook Park. council people, the mayor, the strategy teams are trying to figure out a way to keep the Browns in Cleveland. And me being one of the greatest Browns fans in existence, I still ask why. Mayor Bibb, why fight to keep the Browns in Cleveland? I asked the city council, like, why? And me not knowing all of the angles, but I know many that I'm finna talk about right now. And really it comes down to just a few. Like in my book, we think of a Cleveland Browns team, a football team, a revenue stream that's glorious. So we think, what is the benefit to the community? Let's do this. We have 8 home games a year. That's this many. 8. Well, hold on. 10. Because we got 2 preseason games. So we have 10 games a year. Now, in this stadium, we may have 1-2 events a year. Otherwise, a concert. Because we only have about this much time a year when the weather is sufficient. So, other than these 12 to 14 different days of the year, the stadium is vacant, not producing revenue. The workers that are employed by Cleveland Browns ownership don't have many more days of service. The benefits that go to the bars is minimal. The eating establishments are minimal. The hotels are for these 12 to 14 days of benefit. How are these benefits benefiting the people that need it most? The most. It's not. It's not. It's really benefiting a few hotels, a few businesses here and there with an influx of cash for a couple days a year, while we take tax money from the people that we have been pouring into our taxes and using it for something that's not going to benefit even a fraction of the people of Cleveland. Think about it. We know that times are uncertain. And me being a leader of the community, I'm fully aware that we are in uncertain times. We can't trust the food. We can't trust the marketing. We can't trust our government to protect us because they're selling us out. So if I'm of leadership, I'm a mayor of a city, I know that things are uncertain. And I know that Corona happened. And I know that food was limited and things was limited. I know my people need some type of avenue, some manufacturing, some production to move forward in self-dependency. How does the Cleveland Browns solve that? I'm going to take 400 something million to pour into that when I can use this 400 something million, 100 million of it to pour into something that will provide security for so many in and around the great city of Cleveland, Ohio. See, we can use these tax dollars to reallocate in a different way. We must stop supporting leadership that will not look to benefit the well-being of the majority. Much love to our present leadership. And I hope, because this is primarily for you, I hope that you reassess your stance, your perception. And I know status quo is status quo. But just because it was doesn't mean that that's how it should be going forward. We all continuously grow, upgrade, our perspectives change. I respect and expect you to continue to evolve. Straight from my core, Leon Merida. Much love.